Hello everyone, I am Delphine, bansuri player, and I have specialized in North Indian classical music that we call also Hindustani music. I teach online and in the south of France. I have made already several videos in French language, and this is my first video to try and guide you through the early stages of bansuri flute learning. In this video, I will focus on the G scale medium-size flute, and I am right-handed. I find this scale is nice to start with because the finger position is not so difficult, and it still produces this nice bass sound that we like for Indian music. So to start with, I took with me 4 different sizes of flutes, just to show you. There are much more, but at least you can have a look. The small E scale, which is quite high pitch to accompany dance, for example, or to play folk music, light classical music. The 2 medium size A and G scales that are nice, for example, to play with female vocalists. And the E bass scale, which is used nowadays to play Indian classical music, this one. So I will show you just a little bit how they sound. The A flute. The G scale. And the E bass for classical. So I will focus on the G scale. I'm going to put the tanpura, so the string instrument, which is always at the back and helps us to check if we are in tune. There are many different applications on smartphones, iPhones, laptop. The ones I use the most are on an iPhone. It's iTabla Pro, iTabla Pandit, iShala. You can get an old iPhone if you don't have one. And for the laptop on Windows, you have Ria Studio, where you need maybe to adjust slightly bit the pitch. So to start with, I'm going to talk about the blowing and the embouchure, which is not an easy thing at the beginning, especially if you haven't played any silver flute or any blown instrument before. For bansuri, we have to be usually quite natural with the blowing. It looks like the blowing of the silver flute. So you place the flute on the chin, and it touches also the lower lip. So first of all, you can try like this to produce a sound without any hole, without any notes on the side. You can roll in, roll out, just let the sound guide you and see where the sound is the best. So you have to be very centered In that way, we can start like by putting the rounds of the embouchure on the lip and roll out to make sure we are properly in the center. And then adjust if you think it's necessary. For the bansuri, the sound has to be very precise, just like the tip of a pen, almost. So for this reason, you should open the tip of your lip just very little. And with each sound that you produce, you have to give a slight pressure, like a kind of a support for it. This gives quality and stability to the sound, because this is what we want for the long run. And for this, you have always to take the help of the stomach, of the belly, the diaphragm. For every single breath, you have to take the help of the belly. This always gives you this stability that we need. Regarding the lips, the upper lip should always be natural, because some part of the air goes under it. We can see when we do this. Like this, we see that the sound doesn't come if we don't leave this relaxed and use it to produce the sound. And regarding the jaw shouldn't be open much, just naturally, maybe that much. And you don't need to fluctuate. When you practice, when you play, you don't need to change this. It is really the lips that have this role of opening to let the air go through, and then you can adjust either with the upper lip or by rolling in or rolling out your flute. You have to explore by yourself and see where is the sound the best for you. Then I'm going to talk about the Indian notes and the finger positions. So this is a G-scale flute. That means that the tonic, the sa, what we call the mother of the notes in Indian music, is a G. And we produce this sound with 3 fingers, like this. I use the pads of the finger. This is different from silver flute. We use usually middle, middle tip, and middle, middle tip to play. You don't have to press them too much on the flute. They should cover, of course, the whole, all the rounds of the holes, but you don't need to press too much. The thumbs should be slightly bit on the sides. They should push slightly bit, but not hold the flute. In that way, you will gain flexibility when you need to use your fingers. So it is a bit like my left thumb goes toward my back and my right thumb goes toward the front. And the bansuri like this stays stable between the 2 thumbs, and of course with the help of the chin, like this. The notes, just the normal scale without any rag or anything. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. For this scale, I have used the lower ma, which is called shudma. For this, you need to open this finger just a little bit, maybe by 10-15%. And according to the pitch, this can guide you. This is called shudma. For the upper octave, you need to have a little bit more pressure and more precision in the blowing that brings the air upper in the flute. You can try and practice this. When I don't use the right hand, so when I play sa, re, ga, ma, for example, the right hand should always be like this. This is what I call the standby position, because it should always be like this. It is really helpful for 3 reasons. Because first of all, of course, it brings stability to your playing, especially when we need to use, for example, the tivra ma, the high ma, where the finger goes completely out of the flute. The second reason is that it is ready to play the pa. So at the early stages, it's not so easy to play the ma pa quickly. So in this position, we are ready with the fingers. And the third reason is that in that way, your fingers won't be too near the holes. They should be a little bit in the air. Because if you are, let's say, like this, the pitch might go low a little bit, and this won't give the accurate pitch of the bansuri. So in that way, it makes sure that you're not over any hole like this. That's it for the notes and finger positions. Now for the posture, it is very important since the beginning to have a natural posture, because it will help you to play longer and to enjoy the music better if you're placed properly. So you should sit first of all on a hard and flat surface. It can be on the floor, cross-legged, or on a chair that has to be hard. In that way, the spinal cord will be aligned properly. Your head should also be aligned and not lean forward. And your body also should not be different from what it is usually. So the shoulders should stay how they are, down. If you feel that the flute is not high enough, you can just make this part go up, but not the shoulders, because on the long run it will give you some tensions near the shoulder blades. You just need to move this part. For the head, it's only the head usually. So for those types of flutes, the middle-sized flutes and the big-sized flutes, it's only the head that goes slightly bit on the side, but the whole body, the rest of the body stays the same, like this. So for me, my head faces my left knee. That can be a sign, for example. And always keep in mind that it's the flute that comes to you and not you who comes toward the flute, always. Because if you're, on the long run, if you're a little bit like this, it will bring fatigue in the whole body, in different parts. There are many details to think of. It's not easy to remember all of them, of course, but at least if you keep them in mind regularly during your practice, make pauses and play consciously and realize what you're doing, then you will adjust yourself regularly and take good habits. And of course, as I was saying before, you should always use the belly to help you produce a sound. And you can, for example, give a focus on the belly when you play, to think that it's really helping you. And this usually helps us to be grounded in our playing. Yeah, that's it, I think, for the posture. So of course, there are many details, as I was saying, to think of. If you keep practicing regularly every day and gradually increase your practice time, you will see the progress, obviously. But you have to be regular, because it's not an easy instrument. As we see, it's not as ergonomic as the silver flute. We have to do everything by our own fingers. So we have to adjust more in a general way. And the beginning can be a little bit difficult, but as long as you're regular, there will be progress for sure. It can depend on the person, of course, but you have to explore by yourself and see what is best for you. Like, how do you feel? How is the sound? To really observe what's going on and just keep going. And on the long run, everything will improve. So your focus will improve, your capacity to hear if you're in tune or not. So your sense of pitch will also improve. And of course, the comfort with the instrument, to get familiar with holding it, it will, of course, improve also gradually. So I highly recommend for the beginning that you start learning classical music. In India, of course, there are lots of different styles of music. The main two classical styles are called Hindustani for the north and Carnatic for the south. These classical musics are very evolved, very rich, and they will give you a lot of things. They will open the doors for many things. You will learn about the ragas, about the rhythms. Of course, you have to spend time on the technique. This is what will give you freedom on the long run. But the learning of Hindustani classical music, for example, will give you a really nice base. Either if you want to continue, go for it, or if you want to do your own compositions, your improvisation, or play different styles of music, this is always a really good option to start with. I think that's it. I hope I have helped you through this video, and I wish you a good practice. Bye bye.